Hello. Welcome. Feeling called to chat about this today. I hope this serves you in whatever place you are right now in your journey, in your heart. So this comes from, good morning, Anita. This comes from a very frustrated, wounded, perplexing place of being in either calling in a relationship or being in a current romantic relationship. And I don't really know where this is going to go. So I do have a few points that I think are interesting to explore. So there are a lot of, I feel like there's so many, there are not so many, but I feel like there are a lot of factors at play when we're talking about trying to understand men. Obviously, this is a highly marketed area. There are books on this. There are, things like tips and tricks that you can see or you can do. I'm sure that you could Google it and there are, here are the 5 ways you can start to understand your man today or whatever it is. I don't really know. But I think that I have a pretty simple solution based off of my healing. And I'll present that today. But I want to say that first, that this feeling of not understanding men, like what they do, what they think, how they react, is so common, especially in the, again, like whether that you're kind of in that world where you're dating and you're meeting different people, different men, or if you are in a relationship already. There are, I have a feeling that my teachings are going to go into this realm at some point in the future. I'm not quite there yet, but there are these masculine and feminine dynamics at play. And if you want to chat more about that, just message me. But that's not where I'm going to go with this today. But there are definitely places where on both sides of that relationship equation that maybe we aren't really living in our full aligned self, like our aligned potential. And so what that does in a relationship dynamic is it throws people, if that is like a common factor, if both of you and the other person are kind of, in a little bit of a toxic place within inside yourself, or if you're leading with emotional wounds, like if you haven't healed yet, then there is definitely going to be a misunderstanding there. From either a strictly communicational level, from a soul level, from a heart level. And I feel like that's just so interesting to explore because I didn't know this 3-5 years ago when I was in my toxic relationship for 8 years. We kept getting back together. I got so frustrated when I would tell him exactly what I needed, but he could never seem to either do it or do it in a way that it made me feel like the way that I was supposed to feel when he did it. In dating, it's super hard because we think that we're being very communicative. We think that we are, giving men ample opportunity to present themselves or ask us out or whatever it is, but for some reason they don't take the bait. And my question, my burning question now, when I find these places of frustration, of understanding men, or me internalizing that, which is another level deeper of swirling thoughts, like what did I do wrong, Maybe I shouldn't have done this. And sooner or later, for me, that turned into shame and blame. And then that turns into fear. Like it's this, this crazy insidious cycle that just goes down and down and down. And so what I've noticed now is that in healing these emotional wounds that I've been healing, and this is what I teach, is that when we heal our emotional wounds, we start to understand ourselves at a deeper level. We start to understand why it's so frustrating when we can't be heard, seen, cherished, adored, appreciated in the way that we want to be. And what it does is it triggers our emotional wounding. So if we haven't healed our emotional wounds, then we will continue to be in that state of not understanding, being frustrated. Like it's so visceral to me because I remember these feelings of, why doesn't he get it? Like, I'm telling him everything. Why doesn't he get it? And part of it is that if our emotional wounding is leading our romantic lives, then our emotional wounding is looking for more than just connection and love on that level, like on the very present conscious level. Our emotional wounding is looking for validation, fulfillment, like a cure for loneliness, if we're talking about abandonment. So if we can look at it like that, and if we can look at it like our frustration is really a trigger to our deep abandonment wounds, is that maybe, or our deep emotional wounds, is that maybe we don't understand ourselves. Maybe. Let that sink in for a sec. And there may be a part of you, this is coming up for me, there may be a part of you that's saying, I understand myself, I know what I want. Awesome. I love that. It's awesome when we can ask for what we need. But I would also challenge you to look at, what are you projecting onto this potential relationship? What is that layer deeper of this ask that you're asking for and the frustration that you didn't get it? And if I had to guess, it would be tied back to some emotional wounding that we have had in the past, whether that be from our caretaking relationships or from our past romantic relationships. And what this does in real life is it holds us back. It holds us back from true love and connection if we can't be our aligned self and present our aligned needs. Because this is what I know now that I didn't know then. My aligned self, after healing those emotional wounds that we're talking about, the abandonment wounds, my aligned self understands me, understands my wounding, understands my triggers, and my aligned self now can self-regulate and self-activate and soothe that part of me. So now what I'm presenting to the outside world in dating, in romance, even in friendships, and even with money and job, to be honest with you. But now what I'm presenting is a place of understanding, compassion, and self-kindness, instead of neediness, emptiness, loneliness, unappreciated. Too simple? I don't know. That's just the way I communicate. And that's what I'm a very systems oriented person. And that solution has completely changed my life. So now what I'm attracting into my life now, like at this moment as we speak, like my eyes are getting teary because it's so dope and everyone deserves this. And it's really about healing your emotional wounds so that you're already full. You're already full. But all this, all the extra stuff, the money, the job, the love is extra. It feels so good. I hope that helps a little bit today. If this is at all interesting to you, I have a masterclass coming up on Thursday, all about eliminating burnout in dating and relationships. It's free. I have just a few spots left. It's limited. The link is in my bio. I'd love to have you there if you're interested in learning more about cutting edge research on this stuff. We all deserve to understand ourselves in the most divine way so that we can present our best selves. And then just accept and receive all the good. Bye, y'all. Love you.